Hey guys and girls, so we are here today to install Emby on our Synology DISKSTATION, and it's the DS220j. So if you haven't watched my install video, check that out. A really nice bit of kit from Synology. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get Emby installed, and if you're not sure what Emby is, it's a media server. It's very much like Plex. I would absolutely love to know your thoughts between Emby and Plex, so comment below. So it's a media server that can stream your videos to other locations in your house. You know, you can also watch them remotely, off-site. So really nice little thing to have, because at the moment I'm running it on my PC, and obviously I don't want to leave my PC on all the time. You know, there are times when my kids just want to watch something on the media server and they can't because my PC's off or I'm out, and obviously, you know. So I'm going to show you, it's really quick and simple to do this. So the first thing we're going to come up to do is come up to the package center. We're going to open that and you'll see it will load up, and you can see all your installed packages. You can update them if they're not up to date. Go up to settings, and you want to make sure that it's set to Synology Inc. and trusted publishers. So it allows the installation of packages by third party or trusted publishers. You would only ever want it set to any publisher if you were installing a package that wasn't a trusted package, but you wanted to use it and you were happy to take that sort of risk of installing an untrusted package. So that's fine, that's set to that. We're going to go up to package sources, and we're going to add a new source, and that source, I'm going to name it Emby. And then I'm going to put in the address, which is https://, and then you want to type in synology.emby.media/ and click OK. Now be quite patient with this and let it finish doing everything it's got to do. So it'll give you a little message, and it'll say adding the package source will also trust the publisher's certificate on this server. Yes, I'm happy with that. So again, it's put it there. We've got a community tab appeared, and we're going to click OK. And we're going to go to the community tab and give it a second. And here we go. So we can see here we've now got an icon with the Emby icon. It says Emby server install. So we're going to click install. And it will say, it will ask you to wait, it will download, take a little bit of time. Okay, so it's changed from installing to starting. It does take a little bit of time. Don't get too worried, just be patient. Don't click about, just let it finish and do its thing. Okay, and you can see now that should be installed, Emby LLC, and we've got the open option. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click open. Okay, this is welcome to Emby, so we can actually start. But before we do that, we're going to go back to Synology, and we are going to go into control panel. And what we need to do is we need to make a folder where our media can go. So we're going to go to shared folders. So we've got homes, music, photo, video, etc. So these are the ones I've got set up. I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to call it Emby Media. And give it a description. That can be the same if you want. It's going to be on volume 1. You can enable the recycle bin, so if you accidentally delete something, and you can restrict that to the administrator user, which I'm going to do. Click next. Do I want to encrypt the data? No, not really. And that's all fine, I'm happy with that. Yep, I'm going to apply that. So what that's done is that's creating the shared folder where I can put all my media in. Okay. We might want to edit permissions, so we can have a look. Emby server has no access at the moment. Let's see if we can sort that out. So all we're going to do is we're going to give the Emby server, we're going to give it read and write access. I'm happy with that. And click OK. And that should be fine. Let that finish, and we're good. So we're going to come up to Emby, and you need to make sure you know the IP address of your NAS. So it's always a good idea with your NAS to set a permanent IP address, so a static IP rather than a dynamic IP, and that will be done in your router. If you're happy and you just remember and it always seems to assign that IP, or the IP address that it assigns it, then fine, but it is nice to have it sort of set to a static IP. So for example, at the moment this is set to a static IP of 192.168.1.143 and the port is 8096. So to get to this server, we'll test it in a minute and hopefully it will work fine, but that's what you'll type in. So, well, it says welcome to Emby. There's a quick start guide. What's my preferred language? So we can see all the different languages. I'm just going to go for English United Kingdom because that's where I am. Create your first user. So what user do you want? So we could have admin, we could have whatever. Let's, for this example, just say our user is going to be called Bob, and Bob's going to have a password. Not a very good password, and this is just for demonstration purposes. You can link to your Emby Connect account if you have an Emby Connect account. I don't, so I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to click next, and now it wants me to set up my media libraries. So this is where you can create just different libraries that you want. So we could go new library, content type, and the content type on Emby is really important. So if you, for instance, have a movies folder and you label it as TV shows, it's not going to sync the data properly, and vice versa. So you want to make sure that you use the right type of media. So for example, let's do a movies folder. You could call it display name, so you could have maybe kids movies, horror movies, whatever it is. Now remember, don't pirate movies. It's bad, it's illegal. Buy all your movies officially. You can obviously encode your movies so you've got a digital version of it, as long as you've got the original disc. So make sure that you have the original discs. I can't tell you like how important that is. So we're going to display a display name of movies. We're going to go to folders. I'm going to click folders. That's fine, and we're going to find our shared folder. There we go, Emby Media. Okay, and within there you might have all your different subfolders. So you might have created on your Synology. Let's go to File Station. So for example, in the Emby Media you might have another folder, and that might be horror films or maybe family movies, for example. Click OK. So you now got a family movie folder. So in here, if we actually go back up, we can then go back to the Emby Media and we can see family movies. So again, I could have a family movie folder. Click OK, and then if this is family movies, I'll actually call it family movies. You can obviously, if you're putting films in there, you can tag them from IMDb and stuff. You can get all of that. So you're obviously, your preferred language will be your main language. Country, has it got UK? Yeah, United Kingdom. Preferred image downloader, E for this one. English, yeah, English. Click OK. Scroll down a bit, just check everything else. That's fine. Okay, so that's fine. If you want to edit that, obviously you can click the three dots here. Give it a second. Is it going to let me? It's not going to let me, is it? That's annoying. It lets you on the PC. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a sec. So let's just go next. Next. Do you want to configure allowing remote access? Okay, if unchecked, all remote connections will be blocked. So I'll be honest, for my media server, I don't access it from outside my house. I've got no reason to, so I actually untick that. However, obviously, if you want remote access, then leave it ticked, okay, and enable automatic port mapping ticked, and then you can just redirect to the relevant IP address on a specific port. But I'm not. I just want it internal, so I'm going to go that. I'm going to go next. Agree to the terms of service. I would recommend you read both policies. I've read them in the past, so I'm just going to tick I accept. And it says you're done. That's all we need for now. Emby has begun collecting information about your media library. Click finish. Okay, so then here we go. Please sign in. So you can click Bob, and we'll go to 123, which is the default password that I've put in for this. Like I say, this is a test account for this video only. Never use a password such as 123. It's really weak. Click sign in. And there we go. So we've got Family's movie folder. And if we click that, there's nothing in it. So the only thing I've actually got is the only thing I actually have encoded from DVD is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So I'll show you how to put that on now. So we're going to come over to our Synology Nas, and we can just go to File Station, and we'll go to Family Movies, and we'll just drag the encoder Harry Potter into here and click overwrite, because there's nothing in there. If it had another file with the same name, it would overwrite it, and then you'd have to choose to skip it. So just name your files really carefully and make sure you're happy with that. So that's going to take a little bit of time to copy across, so we'll come back once that's done. Okay, so that's copied across. So we can see here it's in the file manager. So let's go back to Emby, go up to the cog in the top right hand corner, go down to library, left hand corner, and just click scan library files. So this does a refresh. It checks for any folders or if any of your libraries have changed, and if they've changed, it will identify the films or files that are in there. So it takes a little while. What I would recommend you doing is setting up all your folders, get all your media copied across, and then do a scan. So that's finished. We can click the home button. Okay, so you can see the Emby home screen, and you can see it's imported the movie, but it's not correctly identified. So we can fix this. We'll come into the family movie folder, we'll click the three dots, and we'll click identify. We're going to come in and we'll type in the name, so it's Harry Potter, and we will search. And we can see here we've got lots to choose from. So this does a quick search for IMDb, and there's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So we can just click that. If, for example, that didn't show up, what you can do is under identify, there's the IMDb ID. And you can see up here, I've got the IMDb ID here, and you can just copy the IMDb ID, which I think is this bit here. Copy that, and we'll try that, see if that works. Paste, search, and there we go. So just a slightly quicker way of doing it if you want to do it that way. Replace existing images and click OK. There we go. Now I have a very extensive DVD collection that I am backing up on, or going to try and back up onto disk if I ever get any time. I barely get time to upload at the moment, so that is quite tricky. But I'll hang around for the end of the video and I'll show you my collection. So there is Harry Potter, and we can just play from here. I'm actually not going to play it purely because I don't want any copyright strikes or copyright issues on the video. I know I probably wouldn't, but we'll do it quick and just see, make sure it plays, but we won't play too much of the video. So you can see it gives you some nice artwork from the films, and there we go. So that's playing. So happy with that. I really like the Emby interface. I find it really easy to use. It's got some really cool features like the casting. You can cast it. You can set up these folder images the same way by editing images and picking your own. So you can create your own thumbnails for them if you wanted. You can set up favorites. There is an Emby premium option where you can pay for a premium key and stuff to get like better features. That's entirely up to you. Okay. A look at how to access the browser. So we're gonna come up to the URL bar and we're gonna type in the address of our Synology, which is 192.168.1.143. Now if we enter that now, that's just going to take us to our NAS login. So what we're going to do is put the port number on, which is :8096, and hit enter. Once we've hit enter, that's it. There we go. We are back in. We can select our user, which is Bob, and we can then pop our username and password in. So put the password in and it will just log us in. If you're doing this from a TV, all you've got to do is open the Emby app and put that IP address in as the server address, and it will allow you to connect with your Emby app on your TV. Really useful. You can use it from tablets, any browser, super useful. So this is my media collection. This is one of my 2 cases. It's full of DVDs. So I've taken them out of the cases and put them into folders and then labeled these discs. So you can see like American Pie 2, great film. So I've got quite a few of those. That's not counting my Blu-rays. So yeah, please remember to like, subscribe and share.